Hey, what's up everybody? I thought I'd do a video for a change. I just got through doing something that I don't usually do. I installed a new bunk heater and I took my old one out. It was a 14-year-old S-Bar that I had in here I used it personally for like 12 years. And I got to the point where I couldn't repair it anymore. I started buying Amazon parts, which is probably a big mistake, and started rebuilding it with aftermarket parts. Well, from there on out, it was nothing but a nightmare. I kept having to go into it 3 times a year, and I didn't know which part I needed to go with OEM. So I decided just to pull the whole thing out and replace it, because I had problems with it for 2 years straight. I kept rebuilding it 3 times, or I was having to pull it out of the floor. It's an aggravating job, especially when you got to do it that many times a year. So I decided to go with this new brand, and this is the one that I went with. And super cool online. They're about $800 cheaper. They have really good customer service, American people, so you can understand what they're saying when you talk to them. And if you got a problem, they'll call you immediately. And their OEM rebuild parts are literally like 80% cheaper than S-Bar. So I really like that about it, because if you don't know what's wrong with one and you got to play the guessing game, S-Bar can run up to $1,000 to throw parts at it. This one, the fan is like 60, the ECM is only 90. Like S-Bar ECM is like $600. The fan or the burn chamber is like $50. The fan is 60, and the glow plugs are I want to say 100. And S-Bar, all their parts are double the cost. So I decided to run it independently from my APU, so I did that. But here, I'll show you what all I've done. This guy beside me, I guess he's got all the money in the world. He's sitting here idling his truck when it's 60 degrees out, so hopefully you can hear me. I had to get in my battery box. I had to take this off. I had to take this off. That way I could reach in here and run a new wire and zip tie it to that. I reloomed the wire and I ran it all the way over here to the battery box. And it came out of a hole I drilled in the floor, that one right there. So one way goes to the fuel pump and the other way straight to the batteries to get power. Then on this side, I had to remove the passenger side. I also had to remove the side step, and I also had to remove the side fairing. That way I can get in here easier and run the fuel pump wire. See right here, it's connected. I had to run it across behind the cab suspension and zip tie it down, and I put loom on it also. So out of the floor, as you can see, I got my new intake pipe and a new exhaust pipe, silver thing, and then here's the fuel line right here, brand new. And then I replaced, it came with a new pump, a new mounting bracket, which I put on all new. Now to go inside. So in here, I had to pull out the old wiring harness, and it was wired into my APU. So I had to take off a wire here, wire there, wire there, wire there, and I was able to get that out of the ECM of the APU. And right under here is the new wiring harness, which is identical to the old. See, it plugs in right there. Now here's the brand that I put in here. It's dirty under here, sorry. So I used the existing ductwork I had for the blower, but I did put a new one of these on because it was dirty on the inside. But what makes this unit different is that the intake pipe for air, they want it fed into the cab. That way you can get air drawn in from the cab instead of under the bunk, which helps it helps balance the temperature. Because obviously if you're pulling air directly under here, it's freezing cold air, which makes the bunk heater burn too hot. So if you got this pipe that'll suck air from inside of the cab instead of under the bunk, it helps give you more of a correct temperature. But so I did all that, and then like I say, I ran a wire for an independent thermostat. It used to be ran through that, and I ran that. So I did all that work, and this is like the 4th time I've taken an APU apart this year, or not APU, but a bunk heater, and I am sick of it. So I did all that work just to find out that the display screen doesn't work. I was so mad. So I called the guy, and he's supposed to build a new one in my house, and then hopefully I don't have to touch another bunk heater for at least 3 years, because I am sick of bunk heaters. You have no idea. But if I would have just ordered OEM parts to begin with, I probably would have never been in this position for the Espar brand bunk heater. But the guy's super cool, and for the most part, I know how to fully rebuild them. And what I like about this one is that the replacement parts are dirt cheap compared to Espar. But the Espar was a really good system, and it lasted me many years. So I can't really say nothing about it, but I just don't want to spend $900 on guessing on parts for it. So I decided to go with a different brand. Plus, Espar's customer service is horrible. You know, it's made in Germany. Not a lot of people are available to help you with diagnostics of them. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. But I still don't have heat because the stupid display screen doesn't work. There's power going to it and everything, so it's already been diagnosed, it's already been talked to about. But yeah, there's nothing I could do with it. So but besides that, trucking is literally a third world country now, and I am an immigrant in my own country, within my own industry. I'm the immigrant in the trucking world in America. It's a tough market, and it's really hard on everybody right now, and there's more foreigners in the trucking business than American citizens in America, and it's keeping all of us basically in poverty. So till next time, I hope somebody's doing better than me when it comes to freight rates. Have a good day.